partying on the weekends. We used to give house parties all the time. He didn't want to do it too much, but I did. So he'd have to stay there and kind of monitor the party, you know. But me and my friends, we used to give them just about every week because my mother would let us, you know, and we charged 25 cents for people to get in. And we'd make us a little money, you know, and I give my mother half, and the rest of it, we used to buy clothes and stuff, you know. So we had a pretty normal upbringing. Norman went on to Balboa and played sports, and that's where he hurt his knee. He was playing football, and somebody stepped on his knee with a cleat, and when he was playing. So he had this trick knee, and I remember we'd go out and he'd have a little to drink, and that knee go out on him. And I ended up having to carry him home, you know. And I get so mad. I said, why would anybody want to drink and get so wasted they can't get home, you know? And I gotta carry him home, you know. And I'm carrying him on my arm, you know. Finally, though, when he went into service, I think they operated on that and straightened that knee out, because I remember it used to slip out on him sometimes, and he'd be in agony, you know. But he was a real good brother. I mean, everybody looked up to him because, you know, you can't have that air about him. That, you know, he just took no mess, but he was kind and he treated everybody right, you know. And I remember when we first got married, when I was getting married, Christine got pregnant, and she said, well, we can have a double wedding. And I said, what? And I said, I don't know, I asked my mom, you know, and the mom said, no, you gonna have your wedding, she'll have hers. Yeah. And so, right, by the time she got married, he joined the Air Force. So, Christine and I, we were always friends, because that's how she met him, because she was my friend. Her and a lot of men I used to hang, you know. And once she got pregnant, and we were both pregnant together, because Norman is 2 months younger than Veronica, you know. She was born in September, he was born in November. And we used to hang, and as kids, you guys grew up. We'd be at each other's house. Everything we did as a family.
Hi, I'm sitting here with my great-grandnephew, a descendant of one of my favorite brothers. I'm here to talk about one of my favorite brothers, whose name happens to be the namesake of my father, Norman Banks Jr. I truly love my big brother. He was a protector for all of us. In fact, he gave me a lot of advice growing up. You know, if you would think it would have been my sister Cecilia, but he was the advisor. He told me what to do, what not to do, how to react with boys, and which areas to stay away from. He was very helpful in that regard. Although there was times he'd get on our cases because he didn't like to do a lot of work. He knew how to do it, but he would bully us into cleaning up the house, and he'd be like the slave master over us. You do this, you do that. But it made better people out of it. As a result, I love cleaning, and Martha loved to cook, because he would be on us, making us do whatever mom and dad told him to have done. He'd get it done through us. But I loved him because he really was a jack of all trade. I loved his artistry. He could draw anything. He could paint anything and make it look good. He was a landscaper. You name it, I'll claim it. You know, he had artistry skills. He'd bring things home from school that he made, and they would look professional. You know, ashtrays, bookends, towel racks, and I just thought, my big brother is smart. He's the best, and he was. A lot of his friends would come to him for information and advice. You know, he was very wise. And he was always a leader. Every club he was in, he was the president, you know, and they'd be following him in their War Eagle jackets or whatever. And he was tough too, because he was like about 5'11", and some of the guys in Lakeview were like 6-something. So he had to be tough, and they didn't mess with my brother. He was known for a fighter. I mean, and then the boys my age, don't mess with her, that's Norman's sister. which was good in a way, but then it kind of isolated me. But I didn't mind. It was all a part of growing up. And he taught us all how to fight. He taught us all how to... You want to say something? You want to say something about your granddaddy? He taught us all how to protect ourselves, which was a good thing, because when I moved to Lakeview, I had to fight my way in to the school system. I had to build up the reputation to say that I wasn't going to take nothing. And I thank Norman for all that he taught me. I didn't have to wrestle with anybody because he taught me how to box. And he told me how to hold my guard up and protect my face. And that was one of the first things I had to do. You want to get on the picture? Look up. Uh-oh, you getting hungry? Okay, little Norman. That was one of the first things I had to fight the toughest boy in Sheridan. And thanks to Norman, I knew how to put my dukes up and protect my face. And even before Muhammad Ali, I knew how to sting like a butterfly, float like a butterfly, and sting like a bee. Because Norman took boxing as a youngster when we lived in the Bayview Hunters Point area. And he was good at it. He won quite a few matches. And he taught us everything he learned. He would teach his brothers and sisters. And he shared with us so we could protect ourselves. So I really admire my brother and who he was. You know, he was even a deacon at our church for a while, yeah. And he loved history. He knew a lot about history, and he knew a lot about the Bible. I think if you wanted information, he kind of, Michael reminds me of him, because if you want information, you go to Michael, and he'll find it out if he doesn't know. He'll research it for you and come back with an answer. Or he'll already have the answer. So.
Most likely he already have it.
And that's how Norman was. I think people sometimes say, Michael looks like he should be Norman's kid. So he was quite an amazing person. I remember the jobs he held was Municipal Railway, and that was a good one for him because he loved to talk to people and he got along with people, so that was a good job for him to be in the public, you know, and expound his wisdom and knowledge. And then he worked for Park and Recs, where he was a landscaper, and he loved that. He loved landscaping. That was part of his growing up. You know, he used to keep the backyard clean, and then when he left, I took over. Taught by him what to do, how to trim the trees, how to cut the grass, and not to cut it too close, and what time to water it. He showed me all those.
His greatest access was that he taught us that if we stood together, we could not be defeated. You could not fight one bank. You had to fight 9 banks. And it didn't matter if you was Russian army or just the boys down the block. You had to go through all of us. And that unity that he brought to us, and fearlessness is what makes us who we are today.